Okay, everybody has their lunch, everybody's got their stuff, everyone's good? Good?
Kelly just walked in the.
I counted her. Is someone with you?
17.
18?
And Kelly's in the room.
Yes, I counted her.
Is somebody back?
Hey, friends.
Oh, yeah, there she is.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's everyone. Yay. Okay, I just want to make sure we had all our stuff. Yeah. Also, there's a chair back in like Nicolette Crispin's room. There's a white chair back there too that can be rocked.
And there's still really
If you want to, and there's plenty of space on the floor too if you want to grab pillow, whatever. Okay, yay, happy Thursday. It's Thursday. If you wondered what day it was, I don't know what day it is, and we've only just begun. On Thursdays in Beachbody, we celebrate Recognition Thursday. And it's really cool. When I started as a coach, we had 3 vital behaviors. So in your packets, there is a tracker. That's the business activity tracker that I give to every new coach that joins our team. And you have access to it if I'm not your upline coach, just by going to the files section on Inspire Beauty. But that's what I do every day. Literally, if you came here and hung out with me, you are right now. And it probably seems like, wow, this is so fun. Like, but if you actually came on a regular day with me, it's really unsexy. It's like the unsexiest of sexy. It's me, minus makeup, minus maybe a little curl in my hair, more messy bun, less makeup, and this. And I just sit here by myself and I just chip away at those things that are right there in that packet. And they're really small and simple to do, but they're also really powerful when done over a long period of time. So anyway, when I started this business, and Kelly, you probably remember too, yeah, with 3 vital behaviors, right?
Mhm.
What one was missing?
We had invite.
Oh wait, no, it wasn't invite though. Like say it loud. What was it? It was.
Invite.
It was 3 of them. It was like, you didn't
Now we
connect,
go.
y'all. Yeah, it was. Bam. It wasn't like connect. No, it was bam, 3 invites. Yeah.
Invite. Was it personal development?
Mhm.
And what was the other one? I know what it wasn't. Celebrate or like
Was it like
acknowledge or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
Proof of the
Proof of the
products.
Girl, it's been years.
I know. Well, this still exists on the tracker, so that's good. Proof of the products, like you show up, you take care of yourself, you are in your journey, you're on your journey, right? And then now we're a little less like crazy about invite. It's so less icky nowadays, and it's more about how do we show up on social media, how do we make friends, how do we build relationships, how do we actually support people before they even purchase something from you. And why I love partnering with Beachbody and why I don't sell something like lipstick or leggings is because while those are amazing things, I believe the transaction ends once you purchase. So if Annie were to buy my lipstick from me, awesome, she got mauve and she might reach back out to me when she needs maybe a pop of red, right? And our relationship's over. It's a transaction. It's just like going to Target and swiping your card at Target. It's a transaction, it's not a relationship. And what I love about this company and why I love partnering with Beachbody is once someone purchases from me, that's when it begins. That's when it gets good. And even better when they join our team, it's even a better level of that, right? It's like they got the extra large instead of just like the medium size, So I love that. So we do the connections and we build relationships on social media. Personal development is huge. And then the one they added that wasn't part of the original tracker is all about recognition. And recognition is simply recognizing, seeing in others something that they're doing well. And that can literally be the smallest thing. Like I freaking love Leia because she's a ray of sunshine in our team and in Beachbody. But if you get to hang out with her outside of just like the walls of the Beachbody world, you realize that like that's just who she is. And even in Walmart the other day, she immediately complimented the lady in the checkout about her eyelashes and how beautiful she looked. And like, that's just how she walks through life, is complimenting and recognizing things in others. And I think that's so special because you literally need no talent to do that. right? Like I don't have to like go and get a college degree to learn how to compliment you, right? So I think that's so cool. So celebration Thursdays are our thing. And I already, every Thursday, if you're like, why should I do this on Thursdays? It's also the start of the pay week. Beachbody was Thursday to Wednesday. So it's a fresh week and that's when ranks change. So today, I don't think she's on here right now, but I'm going to celebrate her. Our girl Tracy, who was on last night, officially hit Emerald for the very first time. Yeah, and Emerald rank is the first rank that kind of opens the doors to your business. Beachbody pays you in 7 ways. There's 7 opportunities to get a paycheck from Beachbody. And when you are a coach status, you only have one option, and that's commission. That's how hard you can sell a challenge pack, right? And you can earn great money doing that, but it gets really exciting when you can open up bonuses and team cycle bonuses and all those other sorts of fun perks. So anyway, when you get to Emerald is when you start opening up other opportunities in the compensation plan, and it's really cool. So Tracy did that and gifted herself that today. Whoop, whoop, love it. We did a push for pre-summit, and it was a bunch of coaches getting together saying, you know what, I think I just want to like see how hard I can push myself the week before summit to just grow my team. With all the excitement of getting together, let me not just keep it to myself, let me share it. And so we pushed, and for the last week, just in the last week, Leah added 3 coaches to her team. So she didn't just go Emerald again, but she went like Emerald and a half. Yeah. I added 3 coaches to our team. Yeah. Kristen added a coach to her team in this time. Leah added a coach to Kristen. It's good I don't have dementia yet, right? Because like I wouldn't be able to flow. Leah added a coach to her team, and I have to tell y'all she is now officially halfway to Diamond by doing that. Very huge, very huge. Our girl Chelsea on virtually added a coach to her team. Yep, she's halfway to Emerald, so she's close, and that is putting Annie and her entire team, what, you're 1 coach away and like an active away?
An active and a coach. Yeah.
From getting her
Right
diamond in her
there.
own business center. So we got lots of diamond watch happening. I love it when we get on diamond watch, we can start to see who's getting close. Who am I? I'm forgetting. Amanda back there. She added 1 coach to her team in this club. And am I forgetting anybody? Annie added 1 coach. I didn't recognize it yet, but Annie added 1 coach in all of that. I complimented you for the diamond watch, but I forgot to mention that you did also add a coach to your team. So it's really cool. So what I say is Emerald again, right? Like it's not about I went to Emerald, I got Emerald, and like that's it. 2 people, cool. Like we've got a team. No, like a healthy business and a healthy cadence is you do it over and over and over again, and then it starts to turn into something really unique and special, and you just see so many lives being impacted by this community. So it's really cool. So Thursdays are all about recognition. We also recognize not just rank, but we recognize, we can recognize anything, everything. But a lot of things I spotlight are also Success Club, which is helping new people come into your VOD groups and getting them started on their journey. And so that's just amazing. And July's off to an awesome start. So if you guys ever see the recognition on Thursdays, if you see something, just like TSA, say something, like get in the comments, cheer on your teammates, because you getting in there, you're now recognizing others, right? Maybe you're not on the leaderboard, but you in the comments, you have no idea what that does for people's ego is definitely not the right word, and that's what's on my tongue. But yeah, their confidence, right, as coaches, and it's just really, really cool. So on that note, a couple years ago, I really struggled with getting other people. I could get people to join our team, but like nobody really wanted to like help other people. It's like they just want to like come here and like be helped, but not help. And that's fine. Like there's a space for that. But I wanted women who wanted to like pay it forward, right? And so I came up with this like concept, like anything else, you know, I find a phrase and I stick with it. And I came up with this level up beauties idea. And so that became our thing. Every year that if you were a diamond coach for that year, you were a level up beauty, meaning that you're building a tribe, you're building people coming into our community. So in the past, we've always, we've had retreats for the last 2 years for anyone who hit those milestones. And so this year, our retreat for our diamond coaches who hit diamond and hold it for 6 weeks in 2021 will be happening in February of 2022. So if you're like, I want to get to one of these like level up retreats where it's a little more intimate, it's this, but just awesome as well. That can be on your vision board. They already talked about that last night, is like casting that vision, and that can be your vision. And it's so simple, you guys. If you go Emerald again every month, July, August, September, October, That's your diamond right there. You can be diamond by October, right? And then you're helping your team learn how to also go emerald. So this year, this is our swag. When you hit diamond and you achieve diamond and you hold diamond for 6 weeks. So my past diamonds who were at our past retreats have to be active in the year for 6 weeks to earn that as well. So it's they're continuing to push themselves to make sure they're not getting complacent. But we have, I love wearing this shirt. It's so fun. I just got it in the mail, but I don't like wearing shirts alone, right? Like this isn't fun for me. I want a tribe that wants to wear them too. So I have to recognize that our very first level up leader of 2021 is Miss Leah. She has Leah has locked in for diamond and held it for 6 weeks in this calendar year, and so she's earned her swag and an invite to our 2022 retreat. This is for me.
Are you sure? I gotta check it out.
And I wonder if you smiled at me when I said, ooh, I like that. I really like that. I'm glad you did.
Scandalous. Well, scandalous, like
Yeah,
on the wall. Yeah, so anyway, this is on your vision. This is on your vision. It's on my vision to have, like, I literally would love to just soil an army of people. So let's be that army. I love how Moira said yesterday that she started with 7 people in that first year, and that those 7 people are still here. And that is also my heartbeat. It's not that I get somebody who comes and hits that mountaintop and then just goes back down to their car and says, okay, I'm cool, I hiked that mountain. It's like, no, let's hike some more together, right? And if you've been around me long enough, you know I say you get to the mountaintop, you take a breath, you eat your Cliff Bar, but you look around, you see that there's so many more to climb. And so that's my battle cry for all you guys, is that get to those mountaintops, whatever it is for you in your journey, that's unique to you, and I love that. When you get there, don't just go back to your car and go home, go climb another mountain. Yeah, because we get to do it together. So that's it for me. On that note, this is Celebration Thursday, and I can't think of a better way to pass over the mic than to toss it to 2 ladies who they really do rally all of you. Like, I mean, if you have a pulse and you've seen our team page, you see these ladies in there all the time. They are in the community. They're not just a part of the community. They are in it, pouring into you guys, and they've got a word on that today. So I'm gonna toss it over to you guys.
So while Ash is getting our presentation set up, if you open up the packets that were given to you, you'll see that tracker that Britt was talking about that's right past each day's schedule. On the flip side of that,
You just want the slides?
there's an
Yeah,
icebreaker.
the slide. Okay.
So you're all comfy and everything right now, but for the next 4 to 5-ish minutes, we want you to get up, talk to each other, not about whatever. You want to see
Is
how
it
many
linked on the thing or no?
boxes you can get
It
marked
is.
off
Will it work
by
in the
actually
PDF to click
actively
the link?
asking people
Maybe.
questions.
Let me see.
And if you
Yep.
cannot get, you have
So can I
one
just go
pass.
out
You
and
can
then
get
yes.
2
We'll
answers
probably
from
have to
one
stop and
person
switch share.
and move on.
Stop
So
it
you
and then
can't
share
go to
this.
Kristen
When it's
and
not
ask
video
every
too,
single
we'll
question,
have to
just keep
stop the
marking
share to go
boxes.
to the website.
And then shift to Kelly and go, oh yeah, there's 3 more
Only
boxes.
in, it only shares like one browser
One,
at
we
a
will
time.
give you
That's
one
fine.
person to give you
I
2
just figured we'd
answers.
leave this up
and
while they
then
do the
move.
icebreaker.
And the
Okay.
reason we're doing this is because
Alright,
we're
I'm
going to
gonna-
be
do you
talking
wanna
about
tell them
something called
virtual
success
people
sisters
stop the
or
icebreaker?
accountability buddies.
You're
or
unmuted,
whatever
so
you
you
wanna
can just, they can
call
hear
it.
us
Oh.
right now.
That we want you to get
Hey
to know
ladies,
the
sorry
ladies
about
that
that.
are here.
So
Shirley's been talking since
hello.
yesterday,
If
but
you
we're
guys
not more.
open up the packets
So,
that Britt sent in that
at
PDF,
it,
there's
check back
a
in
little
with
bit
you
of
in
an
just a second.
icebreaker for you guys. It is like the bingo looking card. Let's see if I can find it in here. This one? Yeah, absolutely. So our icebreaker for you guys is to type into the chat and see like if anyone has met any of these or if you know somebody who's here. And we're just gonna see who can check off like most of the boxes first. And then, so feel free to use the chat and just like talk back and forth to each other. Or if you guys know somebody who meets any of these who's here in person, you can type that in too and you guys can cross them off. But we're just gonna start with that for a moment.
Okay, it started at 11:46. That's not fair.
Are you orange recovered?
I do actually.
But that was a good question.
And then I'm gonna take a guess. Are you lemon energized?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No. Are you on half
I don't know. And I try, I'm gonna see for it. I'm gonna see for it. Absolutely.
There's my tea.
Where they at?
I have. Somebody else. I did share it.
But you shared it,
But I
you
shared
just
it.
look at it
I
and
did
move
not. I
on.
shared it. I shared it.
That's progress. We should have put
You
these-
started
we
going
should have put these-
right?
No, one person can give you 2 check marks, but then you need to move on. So you can't take more than one answer from everybody in the room. You can only do that one time.
Oh, yes, here's the shirt. I'm so sorry, Chelsea.
Well, you can, but you can't mark it off. If somebody else.
And you guys, I'm at SC5, so you can put my name for, I'm at SC5 for July. Yay, these are awesome.
I should have known.
Were you at this one?
No.
Yeah.
All
All right, great. You're the only one I know who actually has this. Can I reach out for that one? Okay. Are
All right, now I'm gonna get you. Are you? Did you check in with your rod group today?
No.
Are you team lemon? Team Anna?
Team on, they can put me for him. I do love that.
We're playing ball. Let's go. Let's see if we show good.
Ladies, 1 minute more.
Did you just mark off that?
When I get to.
With only one person? So one person can give you 2 answers.
How do I fix this?
No, no, we're playing this back.
Did you share it to the?
I did switch it, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, let's do that.
Uh-oh, something just.
It ended.
It's over. So that's
Oh,
good.
did it end?
Yes.
That's okay, that's okay.
All right, ladies, you need to be in your seats, please. Well, I actually gave you like 8 minutes instead of 5. But it's because many people didn't understand that, okay, you need to move along.
Yeah.
But you know, I've been a teacher, I'm a mom of 2 children, I don't know how much.
That's why you got the police person.
But everybody didn't hear it. You know, just like my children. Yeah. We're over this. Okay, how many people have every box checked? You know, I was going
Wait,
bigger.
virtual.
Virtual, does anybody have all of them? No? Okay, no. Chelsea, thank you for answering me. Okay, let's go. How many people have 10 marked off? Okay, no. How many have 15 marked off?
Wait, how many are there?
Thank you.
There's what?
There are 20 boxes. You have 15? Does anybody have more than 15? Okay, now I need to ask you a question and you need to answer honestly. How many people did you get 2 answers from?
Kelly,
Just Kelly?
yes.
All right, come up and pick a prize.
The first person who could get 2.
Well, we're meant to. I've been here forever and no one's doing it.
Hey, I don't get
I'm right there.
Wait, do I have to?
Yeah,
I picked
show
the
the
hat.
virtual.
I picked this Team Beach Body hat. That is a cute hat.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And I'm gonna stand here.
Okay. All right, so when Britt asked us to speak, we wanted to talk about something that is very near and dear to us, and that is this community and how everyone is brought together by this common thread, which is Inspire Beauty. And it doesn't matter who invited you. I mean, it does, but like it doesn't, because like we're all here together and we all get to work together and grow together and cheer each other on. And it allows us to, you know, step out of our comfort zones and meet other people. And it's just so cool that there's so many of us here at Summit together this year who maybe you're new, maybe you're returning, but this is what was on our hearts, and this is what we are presenting today.
You know, I was gonna stand over here, but they may not be able to hear me. Is that? Can we ask them if they can?
Can you guys hear Leia if she's talking, for our friends virtually joining us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Keep going and then we can check in with them as well.
Yeah.
And maybe one of them will pop in and tell me. So this kind of came to be when Ash and I were talking and I said, you know what, we're kind of like a web. And we all look around the room. We're so different, so beautiful, yet the same. But we could make that web by ourselves, but why would we want to? It's so much more fun. And it makes the journey, if we just intertwine our journeys together, that web is even bigger and even more beautiful. And our gals who are here virtually are connected to us by the World Wide Web. So, you know, I mean, we could even take that one further. I mean, we weren't going that way when we thought about this. We just thought about the beauty of a spider web, especially if you look at it after a storm's happened and the rain is in it and you hit the sunlight. That's why we started with that video. And our journey is so intertwined. I can't imagine my life without her in it. That's how, and 4 years ago, we didn't know each other. We didn't even know each other online. So that's where we came, in case you were wondering about the spiders. So the spider web. And it all also became that way because one person asked somebody else. Britt asked my daughter. My daughter came to me knowing that I would say yes. I then asked Kirsten, who decided to be here this weekend. And I asked Margot and 2 of my other gals, Cheryl and Christine, are also attending virtually as they can, but they were there for me to ask, and don't we want this web to continue? We don't want it to stop. And so if a thread kind of snaps or something because somebody disappears, don't we notice it? We notice when they're missing. And so we just thought that a web was a perfect way to talk about our community.
So as Leah was saying, part of the web is keeping the threads, right? And so we're just kind of linking this to how we keep the web going and active. And obviously like everyone's here, so you're in it already, but how to actually be part of it. So accountability, right? We're better together. Like Rome wasn't built in a day, right? And it wasn't built by one person. Like it takes a village, it takes a community, and it's not just one person. And that's what's so cool about Beachbody is that somebody else paid that gift forward, and then we get to continue to pay it forward, and we're all linked that way. So whether you're doing your workouts and Win the AM, before we had Win the AM, Kelly and I last year, she was my accountability buddy in the morning. We would just drop our Zoom links and we kept each other accountable. And I also have to tell you guys that when I first started, we had challenge groups. They're now called BOD groups, but Kristen had asked me to join her for 80-day obsession. And I was like, yeah, sure, like I'll do this thing. And she's like, you have to track in this tracker. And I had it on private like the entire time. And in my mind, like looking back, I was like, man, I was so like, I was part of this community and I was like rocking my thing. And you can actually go back. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can go back and look in your past BOD groups or challenge groups. And I saw that like the first half of my journey, I never shared with anybody in the group because I was so afraid and I was so stuck in my head about what other people would think of me. And I was so self-conscious and in such a like unhappy place with my body that I didn't want to post my sweaty selfie after. And so Kristen, she would still check in with me and every single day we talked about like what we loved about the workout, what we didn't. And eventually I kept seeing what everyone was tracking in there. Like I would creep on everybody else, but I didn't want anybody to see my stuff. And eventually I was just like, why am I not like part of this? Like everybody cheers each other on, everybody is there for one another. And so when I started sharing that, I feel like that completely changed my journey and it allowed me the community that I thought I didn't need at the time. Nutrition, Kristen, Annie, Chelsea, you guys are like rocking 2B mindset. And the cool thing is like somebody else brought you here, right? But somehow you guys found each other. You found this common thread, nutrition, like you guys wanted to rock that together and you guys did. So it's just, it doesn't have to be like who invited you to stick with that person. Like you can step outside, and because we have this web, there's so many people that you can have like commonalities with. PDM book club. So that was something that I like didn't do at first. I always saw Kristen was on some sort of like special meeting on Saturday mornings when we traveled together, and I would just like pop in sometimes and be like, what's happening in there? I'd be like, it's book club.
The secret sister.
The secret sister, yeah. And so when she like told me what was happening, this was before I was a coach, and then I became a coach, and it took me a while to get into that mindset too. But it's like book club is so special because it's not just about like what you're reading. There's so many other discussions, and it's such a great way to get to know like the heart of other people and just have genuine conversations. And Leah is so gracious to also lead another book club if people can't make it on Saturday mornings. So there's so many options to stay accountable and like get connected with your team. Team power hours. Every Tuesday we have those. And the cool thing is that Britt made this space and Win the AM. So like if you can't get on the Tuesday night power hours, there's always a space for you to be accountable, or just drop your link, or you know, tell other people, hey, I'm gonna be working at this time, I'm gonna be in Win the AM. So there's so many options, and I just think it's so special what we have, because I don't think a lot of other teams have this.
I agree. And you know, Win the AM was something that I don't think any of us thought about until Britt decided to do it. And then so many of us, I think our mindset was, oh, Win the AM is from this time to this time it's to work out. But it's not. She has this link that is open 24/7 unless she is personally on a meeting. but we're able to do exactly what Ash said. You go on the team page and say, I'm gonna power at 12:30, but I've only got 30 minutes. Anybody wanna join me? I'll be in when the AM. If you know somebody else is working out at 4 PM and you don't wanna do it by yourself, pop in there or text them, but maybe even put it on the team page, because maybe there's other people getting home from work or dropping kids off or doing something and they haven't pushed play yet that day. That may be the thing where they go, you know what, I need to push play. I'm gonna do it with my girls. And you all log in there. So that is open for everybody on the team. You do not have to be a leader standing up here or Britt because she started it to use Win the AM. It's there for everybody all the time. And with that, I'm gonna kind of segue into Success Club. Several of you walked up to me and said, I know you did Success Club or SC5 in July, right? I didn't. I'm not there yet, but today's only the 15th of the month. And I need one more point, but I will get there. I am determined I will be there this month. That's a non-negotiable. Britt is at SC5. SC is when you help 3 people. And that is Beachbody's terminology is hitting SC, but that's a number. And that number, to those of us that are truly working this from our heart, that number doesn't matter. The number that matters is how many people are we helping and how are we helping them? And it's not because they need fixing. They just maybe need a solution to something that they haven't found. Well, many of us have those tools. And if we don't have those tools, we have it in our back office. We have a tribe around us. And believe me, many of us do this. We reach out to others and say, I don't know how to answer this. Where did you find this? Britt gave me an idea yesterday for one of my current challengers that I hadn't even thought of. And I've been doing this for years. And I used it when I went out and worked yesterday morning and got her that article. So we are here for each other. Just because you hit, so I'm gonna talk about it next, is rank advancement. It doesn't mean we're not there for anybody else. Nobody in this room is better than anybody else. We're better together. So we work together as a team. And in rank advancement, you have your accountability. So we were talking about accountability in several ways over here, but part of our story is because we saw each other in the team page all the time. We saw each other in our challenge group at the time, all the time. We were commenting on each other's posts. We were showing up. So that made us reliable to each other. So when we both decided I was going to reclaim my diamond, Ash knew she wanted to get her diamond. We instantly just reached out to each other, and I don't remember which one of us reached out to the other one first, but we knew that each of us had the fire, and that only ignited us more. I think I possibly regained mine the week before. I don't know, but we truly were a week apart when there was a regain and there was a diamond, and we didn't leave the other one behind. You know, she didn't get her diamond and say, okay, yeah, now you're on your own. We checked in with each other every day. We did power hours every day. We got our calendars, I think at the start of the month, or we do 2 weeks at a time. And we look at our schedules and pick our power hours on those days that we could work together. And we got on our own Zoom, or we were on the phone, or we were texting, or we were messaging. We had strands going everywhere to get us there. So that accountability is huge in so many ways. NLC. A couple of gals on our team have been to NLC, and we have a couple of them sitting in the room right now who have been there. NLC, having accountability buddies to get to national leadership conference. To get there, it helps to have those accountability buddies and to work together to get there, because then when you get there that year together, you're celebrating with that person together. I don't know if you remember, but they announced that last night in Vegas. Well, you could be in Vegas with your girlfriend that you just pushed with, and you both grew your teams, and you're clinking glasses in a city that never sleeps, and you're having a blast with a girlfriend. And co-leading BOD groups. My first time, it wasn't BOD groups, it was challenge groups. And I wasn't gonna do it. And somebody who's sitting in this room kind of cornered me and said, but you're already coaching. But you're already coaching. You compliment, you comment, you like, you love, you cheer them on, you're already doing it. okay, I know you don't wanna do it by yourself, how about you do it with me? And I did it with her, and it was still scary, because you feel a little bit of a different type of responsibility. But it's so rewarding and so much fun. So if you aren't ready to do it by yourself, get a buddy and do it together, and just do it scared. Because I guarantee you, the gals in your group, they aren't gonna know. What they are gonna know is if you don't show up for them, and if you don't cheer them on. So be there and do it together. And Team Cup. So I stepped away. I told myself I wasn't gonna do this. I stepped away from this community over a year ago. And I was having marital problems. My husband and I were sleeping in separate rooms, and I was ready to leave. I was done. I wasn't happy. And I was using all the excuses. And I got a phone call or a text last July, so exactly a year ago, probably after summer, from Kristen. And all she said was, "We miss you." I was still in the bod groups. I was still showing it for me. I was coaching myself. But I wasn't on team calls. I wasn't on book club. I wasn't doing power hours. I wasn't with my girls. Because I didn't need them. I was fine. And she said, you know, Team Cup's coming up next month. I'm putting my team together. Would you consider doing this? And I paused for a while and I said, I'm not gonna say no, but I'm not gonna say yes. I need some time to think about this. And then we talked about some other things. And about a week later, now my husband, mind you, had asked me about a month before that, well, why aren't you working in your Beachbody business? Because our radio station is pretty much shut down because of COVID. And I said, no, I don't wanna do that. And he said, well, why? And I said, I don't need the stress. I don't want the pressure. I just, no. So I came up with all the excuses. But it took somebody else reaching out to me, asking me, and obviously I said yes. Because I not only came back and did Team Cup on the team with her, I think I had one of the best months I have ever had in my coaching history. And not only that, we then pushed, and I was all the way back down to coach. I wasn't even Emerald at that point. I was lifetime diamond, but in the Beachbody world, I was just lifetime diamond, but I was getting nothing. So that web we talk about, y'all, there's so much out there. So whatever you're feeling, people feel it. If you step back, we notice. Even though when we're the ones stepping back, nobody cares. Nobody's missing me. Nobody knows until you get somebody being bold enough to reach out. And she's not my upline. She's not the person who I said yes to. Britt is. And just keep that in mind. We miss you when we're not there, when you're not there. Accountability is huge. Remember those 2 words, Team Cup, because by the way, that's coming up next month. So some of us may be reaching out to you to ask you if you're interested, but I'm not gonna say I'm sorry for what I did, because it's heavy on my heart and she knows it. She knows what that phone call did to me. I have a community around me. I have multiple communities around me. I don't have this community. I didn't have that. I had it, but I had stepped away. This community is more than shakes and workouts. That's all I'm gonna say.
So Success Sisters, how you show up matters, kind of building off of what Leah just said. She's gonna go over the next bullet points here too. But
but it's so, so important because that's part of our web, right? Like nobody's alone. It's so much better together, and it's so much more fun when you have somebody to celebrate those wins with, and you can push each other and drive each other, and celebrate those wins together.
So pretty much like Ash was just saying, how do you show up? Ask yourself that. How do you, if you had to do a gut check right now, how are you showing up? What makes you reliable? What would make you be that person like we were to each other when we both kind of knew and we ran? What made Kristen reach out to Annie and then Chelsea see that and reach out to them to do nutrition? They saw each other showing up and doing the damn thing. And it just pulled them almost magnetically to be together. Are you someone others can count on? And I'm even gonna throw in, can you count on yourself? If there was somebody else asking you that, could you count on yourself for something? Are you a wallflower? Or do you actually participate and contribute? You know, Ashley mentioned that in her very first challenge group. I only knew who she was because her name was in that group, but I saw her in Kristen's pictures. So if they were together working out and Kristen took a sweaty selfie, Ashley was in it. But I never saw Ashley posting that picture, but that didn't matter. She then became the person who started to participate and contribute. And here's a gut check for me, man. Do you finish what you start? It took me years to start a program, but more than that to finish it. I would start it and then I'd kind of trickle away. Or I'd go, you know what, I'll do this one, and this one. I wasn't that person who, oh, it's 80-day obsession, sure, I'm gonna start it and I'll do it. Now, there are women in this room, in this very room, who I look up to, who do that with every single program they start. And it still blows my mind. But I wasn't that person. But I am now, and that feels really freaking amazing. Are you consistent? Not just do you show up and do that workout maybe on a Monday and then a Thursday, or let's talk your business, because I'm talking to myself. Do I check all the boxes, or do I just say I'm checking them, or do I actually do them? And do I do it consistently? Are you doing what you say you'll do? If you tell somebody you're gonna do it, are you actually doing it? And again, more importantly, if you say you're gonna do it, do you do it for you? You know, we could, how often, okay, there's moms in the room, or aunts in the room, daughters in the room. We'll put other people's appointments in our calendar and we will make sure they get done. How many times do we rearrange our schedule for somebody else and we take our stuff off the schedule? I did it for years. My kids are 27 and 32. I did it all the time. When I was raising my children, this wasn't around. And taking care of myself first was extremely selfish. And I was not a good mom if I wasn't taking care of my children first. Didn't mean I didn't love them, but boy, society told me something else. So what we have is huge for that. So are you doing what you say you do? It's that simple.
Yeah, and then when you see her showing up, you get to find out who shares that common thread. And when I saw Leia show up to Teen Cup and she rocked it and had like this incredible month, I was like, man, if she can do it, why can't I? So at that time too, I mean, I feel like we were kind of similar in ways that we had stepped away. And I did the best I could at that season because I was working a lot of hours. I was trying to pour into others, but also take care of myself. But I still did the things. Like, I think sometimes we get so in our heads about the things that we don't do, and we can really beat ourselves up over it. So when I was in New York, I felt like, oh my gosh, like, was I really like participating? And I look back at our BOD groups, and I still ran it with Kristen at the time. And I look at my stories and I was still showing up for myself and working out every day. And it just, sometimes like the season that we're in, things wax and wane. But I think the thing that I found when I started this journey is that the one thing that I always need to take care of is me first, so that I can pour into others. And at that time I needed to keep myself healthy and do the things. I was still trying to work my business. I remember I had a rat infestation in my apartment. And I remember sitting in the back of an Uber and sending a share cart to my coach, Megan, who is still, she's still in our group. And so it's just, I have that memory in the back of my head. And when I think to myself, like, there's so many things I didn't do, I have to think of like, but I did show up for myself. I showed up to our bod group and I did help somebody. So I think that when I saw that Leah had come back in and she was just on fire, and I was like, man, like, as part of Team Cup, I hadn't hit Success Club, but I really wanted to keep working towards Diamond. And I was like, man, if she's gonna do it, like, I can do it. And you have the ability at any point in this journey to flip that switch and to decide that you want something more. So I think that's really cool. And then a connected coach is a successful coach. We've seen that before. So that's really what helps hold the web together and grow it. So I want everybody, if you have your notebooks, to just take a moment, and for our virtual friends at home too, just write down like what brought you here to Summit this year and what does Beachbody mean to you? Because I'm guaranteed.
There's no right or wrong answer. So, and this is your journey, but we want you to write it down. And then if you feel comfortable enough sharing it, please do. And then maybe.
Yeah, same for our virtual friends. If you guys want to drop in the chat, if you're comfortable, we will share that as well. Mhm.
Nicole, I love that.
I'm gonna read it out loud, so.
Yes, I felt obligated to come to Summit. I've been absent because of injuries and pregnancy, but felt obligated to show up for all of you and for myself. Beachbody gives me a mindset that I have never had before in my life, and gives me stability to know that it will always be there when I'm ready, no matter what. Amen, sister. No matter what. It looks like almost everybody has kind of come to a close. Those of you that are still writing, please still keep writing. Those of you who already finished,
If anybody feels comfortable enough reading one or the other, we'd love to hear it, but you don't have to. We just thought we would open it up for maybe just a couple if somebody wanted to.
Alright.
Okay, thank you, Nicolette.
So what brought me to Summit, this awesome community of women and being able to meet and hug and talk to. So you're all like support sisters. Hold on. All right, next.
I feel you. I feel you.
What does beachbody mean? Learning how to live the best life through mind, body, and soul. All right, I think you're gonna cry.
And you're Thank you.
Yeah.
Love that.
And you know, you're doing it as a mama, and what I see is your children are decades younger than mine, but mine look at me right now and say, God, Mom, look at you. So yours are seeing it right now. What a freaking amazing role model you are. So hear that when I say it from my heart. Rock star status. Yeah. Anybody else or everybody okay?
I can share, but I'm already gonna cry.
Well, you know you'll be first to do it,
Well,
so.
For me, just, when I started 2017, like I joined in the summer and then I joined as a coach the following December. And it's been a bumpy road, but I mean, things like this take time and progress. They always say, right? It's not linear.
Absolutely.
It's like all over the place, but just doing all of that work and really falling back in love with fitness and really taking care of myself may have saved me when I lost my brother in April, because I might still be in bed or I don't know. And so just I woke up the next day and was like, well, I have a workout, that's what we do. And then usually I can keep doing the day after that. So, and then I'm here because his birthday was last weekend and I just knew I need to go and be there with them. And I was going to be there in person anyway, and it really is, you know, I did the last 3 years, so it kind of.
It was non-negotiable.
I
We're gonna come get you.
know if I.
We have to
Like,
get you. I mean, we've got the car started, we're on our way.
And he's in Austin.
You better
Montana.
And
what
I
a
think
throw
I
him in the
speak
car.
for all of us. I think I speak for all of us when I say, we're so happy you're here. Because we are able to be here and surround you, and that's another huge piece of this community. You know? Anybody else, or are we good?
Well, just like you were saying before, not every team is like this. Because I started coaching 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years. And I was on a different team. And I was really nervous about coming here. And I'm gonna cry. Y'all started something. Because a week before I was set to go to Summit, my coach at the time messaged me and she's like, I don't think you should go. I'm like, why? I've already paid for the room and everything. And she's like, well, I just think you're gonna bring everybody down and you're just gonna waste your money. You don't really work this business. You're not really into it. And I'm like, I was like, okay, done. And my husband, I mean, I have horrible anxiety issues anyways with stuff, and my husband saw how bad it was, and he's like, I cannot believe he said that to you, and all this stuff. So then I was like, you know, I've tried every diet I can because my metabolism literally stops with that. I hit 18 and I was like, nope, no more. But that's why I started Beachbody, because I was like, can't afford a personal trainer, so at least I can have a personal trainer in my living room, and I'm supposed to have a coach that was going to help me, and she kind of let it go. And I was at a point where I was going to team calls and not going to team calls, and thank God I got on a team call that night and Brittany spoke. And I just I don't think I talked much on the call. I just kind of listened to her and then I found her on Instagram and I was like, I'm just gonna like Facebook stalk her. for a while. And I messaged her, I think pretty soon after my coach told me that. And I was like, this is what happened. And I don't think this is the way you run your team, but I need to know. I kind of like need it in writing that this will not happen. And she's like, oh no, we don't do that. She's like, I don't care about numbers. I just want you to be like your best self. So I told my husband and he's like, are you sure you want to do this again? And I was like, if it doesn't work this time, I'm absolutely done. And I told her, I was like, well, give me 6 months. He's like, so I continued to like stalk her that time too. And then started to see y'all and I was like, oh, okay, so this is way different. And I mean, I needed that because I don't, after the last one, I was like, I'm not sure I even trust people to like share my journey. And I felt horrible about myself, the way I looked in the mirror and everything. And now, I mean, it's so much better.
Completely different.
Yeah, I can see myself better. And even my husband knows, like, if I haven't worked out in a few days or talked to y'all, it's like, okay, you okay? Something's not right.
I think that's also an important lesson though, is that your coach at the time was not coaching you. Your coach was doing the opposite of what this team is. And that's empowering and supporting and loving and welcoming and growing together side by side. And I'm proud to say we are the opposite of that coach, and that you gave the company and another coach that opportunity to prove that correctly, is that they are not all like that. Thank you for sharing.
I'll go ahead and share too.
Okay.
It kind of builds off what you were just saying. So why am I here? So I'm new to the game here and I fade in and out with my motivation. So I'm here to kind of jumpstart that. And we all do. Also, like a lot of people, like even people who have known me since like first grade, probably like I come off as like confident or like I can talk to anybody, that's not an issue. But I actually do have like a lot of anxiety. So I struggle with like reaching out when I need help. So just to make those connections and kind of feel like, okay, I've met you in person. So now I feel a little more comfortable, like, hey, would you do this with me? Or like, you know, if you don't see me, maybe just hit me up because I'm probably just sitting on the couch, you know, like just to give me a little reminder every once in a while. So I feel that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure quite a few people.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Anybody else before we wrap it up?
I just have what does Beachbody mean to me? And I was just like, don't overthink this because that's what I do. I overthink everything.
I think we've got it still there too.
And sanity, community, empowerment, accountability.
Amen. Yeah.
So, and I mean, I was crying when we were talking, when you made that call to Leah and she came back, she made a call to me. And
yeah, it does its thing.
Life would look really different right now if that happened.
Yeah. I remember that call too. I love you. Okay, moving on. Next slide, please. All right, so on that note, what we're gonna do is we've got, yes, another challenge for you, because we're gonna bookend it. Before you leave Dallas, we're hoping, because we're quite confident, everybody in this room is gonna find a success sister in one walk of their life or another, doesn't matter what it is. Sit with someone new for one meal each day. Just chat with them. I'm not saying sit there quietly and have that awkward silence. That doesn't count, that doesn't count. But I want you to sit with someone new, one meal each day. Chat them up, kind of see what's going on. Attend
a live super weekend event. There's
Y'all, let's
nothing
go.
like that. And it will be announced, our team page will announce it, Britt will, we will all then announce it on our team pages as well. Keep your eyes open for that. And there it is, look at that, Team Cup. I was just talking about that a minute ago. We want you to seriously consider immersing yourself in Team Cup. And I don't want you sitting there going, oh, but I don't work my business. Well, but I'm not, I coach myself. All right, you could still be a member of a Team Cup and grow with those 4 other ladies that you're gonna be a team with, and just do it scared. They won't let you fall. That, I promise you with every ounce of my being. Hop on Win the AM. And like I said earlier, if you aren't on first thing in the morning, do like I did with book club. Get a group of 4 or 5 other gals and pick that 4 or 5 or 6 p.m. time that you work out and hop on Win the AM, even if it's in the PM. Join a book club. Britt just told me the other day what our next book is. If you could, that would be wonderful. I want you all to write this title down or do like I did. The second she told me, I went into Audible and I used one of my credits. And it's already on my phone and it's downloaded.
It's only like $10
Britt-
on Audible now.
Britt and I will be announcing it formally on Inspire Beauty's team page. She'll put that on and then I'll do my Tuesday time so that you will see it. Build to last. So if you don't have it, if you haven't read it, another challenge of mine is get the book. And be on one of them. Britt does them every Saturday morning. We will not be doing it, obviously, this Saturday. And I believe you are not doing it the next Saturday as well.
Correct, we'll kick off 2 weeks from Saturday.
We will kick it off 2 weeks from Saturday, and then I will do 2 weeks from the Tuesday. But we will put those dates on the team page. You don't have to remember that. I just don't want you thinking it's next weekend. It's not. And lastly, learn, grow, and laugh. And do it with a sister. Do it with a tribe. It's a lot more fun.
So on that note, we're gonna leave you with a quote that we thought was very fitting by our gal Helen Keller. Alone we can do so little, together we can do so much.
Okay, friend. Guys, give it up for them again.